What's up, Dominators? Welcome back to the VG channel. Today I have with me MLB, so Majesty Blockbuster finally, after very long of requests from some of you guys and me, lending the deck from Wilson because I'm too poor to get one. So yeah, thank you much Wilson for lending me. This is by me, it's not my deck. It's a bit high rarity in a sense from Wilson, but yeah, we're gonna get into the deck. So let's just jump right into it. So first we have the full layout of the deck. Then we're going to go through the cards while we run them, a little bit of skills here and there, and maybe a little bit of combos. But I think this deck, Majesty Blockbuster being tier 1 deck, tier 1.5 depending on the upcoming sets, it's really linear and pretty boring because you do like the same thing mostly over and over again. So yeah, and that applies for every Vanguard deck actually, but whatever. Okay, moving on to the set. So I've opened the MLB set before and show you what you can get inside. So let's just go ahead and feature the VR right here. It's a very nice SVR. You get one in the set as well. So the first skill is continuous. If you have Blaster Day and Blaster Dark in your soul, this unit gains +1 crit. And if it's on Vanguard, it gains 5k and +1 drive. So it's really good. Take note that the V/R, it's a V/R skill, means that if you have Blaster Day and Blaster Dark in your soul, it gains crit even on Rearguard Circle. But if this unit is on Vanguard Circle, obviously you gain the additional 5k and drive +1. So it's a pretty good card in terms of being 18k based on your opponent's turn continuously, as long as you have Blaster Day and Blaster Dark in your soul. So it's really strong. And the exception that it gives you 1 crit, 1 drive, and the base 18k is really strong. Take note that the second skill is really strong as well. It's really strong, but yeah, this deck is like tier 1.5 for a reason. Second skill is when this unit attacks, you may put 2 rear guards onto your soul and you gain 2 force markers. So 99.99999% of the time, you will ideally go for force 1 in this deck. You will almost never ever go force 2, because every turn you're actually gaining 2 force markers without the exception of riding, of course. So it's really strong to stack force 1s and create really big columns. So that's one of the reasons why you will never ever force 2 and always force 1. So that's basically it for the main villain or the main VR of the set, I would say. Alright, moving on to the grade 2. So we have the order card right here. So the order card is unnecessary to run, even though they only give you 3 in the set. I think 3 is fine. You don't really have to run 4 because it's not really necessary, because it's a Blaster Blade set. Blaster Dark Structure is really good. So skill is when you play it, if you have Blaster Blade on the field, you search for Blaster Dark. If you have a Blaster Dark on the field, you search for Blaster Blade. And if you have both Blaster Dark and Blaster Blade on the field, you search for Majesty Blockbuster. So it filters out a lot of cards and a lot of different types of necessary cards in order for you to reach the MLB Blaster Blade, Blaster Dark Soul, having them in your soul. And 3 of the orders, I mean, you can get the orders back using this card right here, which is Trumpeter, we'll get to later. So 3 off, I think it's fine. You can opt to run 4 if you actually buy another set, you buy another order of another player or whatever. So it's fine, but technically I think 3 is a very optimal number, and you don't really have to need to run 4. But cards that are 4 off are obviously Liver Rod, Blaster Blade, Blaster Dark. I think these 3 cards are basically your grade 2 game, including Trumpeter, which I think she's optional during grade 2 turn, but it's good to have and call out. Liver Rod obviously spawns the rear guard for free for cost of Karma Blast. If you don't have Karma Blast, you call Soul Blast, is really strong. Blaster Blade, of course, grade 2 turn, you're able to rush and crush with Liver Rod, so try to get 4 rear guards down as much as possible so that Blaster Blade gains crit. Blaster Dark, Twin Drive on your grade 2 turn. Most of the time, grade 1, your opponents will not call any other cards because they are still grade 1 and not rush you. But if they do call cards, then of course you're able to use Blaster Dark or Blaster Blade Steel to get rid of them and then gain the Twin Drive from Blaster Dark. Last but not least, we got Trumpeter. I think it's a pretty interesting skill. It's when placed counterblast, soul blast, you return up to 1 blaster from your drop zone and 1 order from your drop zone to your hand. So it's really good because you can keep recycling your blaster blades and blaster ducks from the field or from your soul, and including the orders where you can keep tilting cards from the deck, like Majesty Lock Blaster or Blaster Blade, Blaster Duck, either one. It's really good to have in the deck. I believe the set came with 4. You are able to run 4 if you really want to. But yeah, there are some slots in this deck that you can swap out with. I think when we should get to later, I think this Sisyllus can be swapped out, but you're losing a 5k shield value, and if you can see, the grades are already like paired really well. You're running an excessive amount of grade 2s, you're running 4, 8, 12, 12 plus 6, you're running 18 grade 2s already technically in the deck. You can splash in 1 Escalate the Blaster. I recommend you can, if you really want to, 1 Escalate the Blaster. You just take out like 1 Suleiman for Sisyllus, sorry, not Suleiman, Sisyllus for it, and replace it with Escalate the Blaster if you want. Moving on to the grade 1s, it's pretty standard. I recommend running Maron instead of Alan. I don't have Maron because it's really expensive, considering that Outmal uses it and MLB uses it, and they're both like tier 1/1.5x. So Maron price has really gone up. I have Alan instead. Alan is basically Maron, but the skills only can be used once because it's on place count +1. You call a card equal to the grade of your Vanguard or below, and draw a card which you need against +3. Maron is almost the exact same thing, but you can do it like every turn. So once per turn skill, and when the unit space in the same column as unit, count +1, draw 1 +3. So it's about the same. But of course, Maron nets you more because you're able to use it every turn, while Alan is one time off skill. So yeah, I run Alan instead. Wingout Brave, this card is the best grade 1 turn if you're going second, or best grade 1 actually whenever you're attacking, because it applies the on hit pressure. V/R on hit, Vanguard, on hit opponent's Vanguard, you check top 7, add any blaster from the top 7 to your hand. So blasters are Blaster Blade, Blaster Duck, and of course Majesty Lock Blaster. Strong. Last but not least, we got Sisyllus. I think it's fine if you really want to run it. I'm not too sure if there are better grade 1s to run, but yeah, it's a top 5 Gucci searcher in case you really cannot get Majesty Lock Blaster in your hand. But as I said before, the order kind of tutors it out as long as you have Blaster Blade and Blaster Duck on the field, which is not that hard. And Wingout Braves helps you search for Majesty Lock Blaster as well. So Sisyllus is not really optional. I mean, it's not really how do I say it? It's not really that impactful or like a must-have in the deck, but it's good because you get to filter, and obviously it's a free 13k booster as long as you have your Counter Blast all face down, which is pretty much in this deck you're gonna have a lot of Counter Blast, because most of the skills here doesn't really take Counter Blast except for maybe Trumpeter and maybe Liver Rock. But other than that, Majesty Lock Blaster skill is free because it's a free cost. And then other than that, yeah, maybe you want to use like Blaster Duck, Blaster Blade skill once or twice every game to get rid of your opponent's rear guards or something. But other than that, this is the base of the deck. In terms of triggers, I've seen 12 crits, 4 heals, so you don't run up to run the draws. But I think this deck, optimal is 8 crits, 4 draws, 4 heals is the standard consistency build. So yeah, and every time you gain a triple drive, you can double force. So in the long run, you're always going to win because you'll always keep gaining force in this deck. It's very highly likely that you'll not lose to Excel or Protect decks in terms of, yeah, Protect, they do have Kanzens and they do have Protects, they do have like high Protect power, high shield power, not Protect power. But in the end, at the end of the day, the longer the game drags, the more force you have, and the more force you have means it's harder for your opponent to guard. So that's one of the reasons why it's strong. And for XL decks, their games are 18k base Vanguard. Take note, if you're checking on trigger, it's already a 28k base. So it's pretty hard to hit numbers unless, you know, they play France or something and they have high power rear guards like Hyuga or what's called with the new Yasui. But other than that, yeah, this deck is tier 1.5, and I hope you guys liked it. It's really linear, I would say. You're doing the same thing every turn. It's not really very fun in a sense, but it is a strong deck, I can't deny that. But yeah, thank you much for watching. Hope you guys liked it. I'll be posting DP soon, hopefully, and Susano deck lists and some fights hopefully really soon. Sorry for the late upload my videos where I only like upload once or twice a week, cause currently still having some army stuff and some work to do, so didn't really have the time to record some of these games and deck recipes, but I'll try my best to do for the upcoming sets really soon. So yeah, thank you very much for Dominators for watching. Hope you guys liked it. This is ShiHai and I'm out. Peace.